and I'll turn it over to all of you.
Thank you so much. We love to hear your applause. We are Red Cedar Chamber Music, and we're an organization that's been based in Marion for the last 25 years. And my name is Mira, and raise your hand if you know what instrument I play.
Ooh. Should I call, Minnie, what is that?
A violin?
Exactly.
Exactly.
And my name's Carrie, and I play the cello. Okay. Now, you guys probably know something about the violin family. I wonder if you can tell us what this is. Notice it's a little bigger than the violin, but not as big as the cello. Who might have that answer?
We talked about this one yesterday in our string family. Oh, right, Xander, do you know?
It's like a version of the. It's like another version of the violin.
It's similar to the violin. Remember, so we talked about the violin, and then there was another one right next to it. I'm gonna go over here. Yeah,
Viola.
Viola! Exactly right. Now you know the viola is bigger than the violin, which means that it sounds a little lower, but it's not that much bigger. But you know the cello is way bigger than the violin, so that means it can sound really low. And then there's another member of the violin family, which is even way bigger than the cello, and you have to stand up to play it, and that's called the double bass. Yeah. So, we are Red Cedar Chamber Music. Red Cedar because we were named after the Red Cedar River, which was the original name for the Cedar River that runs through Cedar Rapids. And chamber music, that part of our name, means that we're music for a small room. Chamber is an old-fashioned word for room or small room, or in this case, our living room. We're not masked because we're a married couple and we're at home. So we don't have to mask at home. This is our living room, and chamber music was designed to be played in people's homes by a small number of people for a small number of people, right? With everyone playing their individual part. And we are playing today as a duo. a duet, two people, a violin and a cello. So the cello's a lot like you, right? It was designed to do exactly what you can all do, which is to sing. This was designed to imitate the human voice, and it's not that strange that it kind of looks like you. It's got a head, right? Can you put your head? Yeah. And then it's got a neck. Can you put your hand on your neck? Right? It's got shoulders. Put your hand on your shoulders. We have the waist. Put your hand on your waist, right? Of course, you guys maybe don't have a tail, right? Like I've got a tail here. Which is an end pin.
Just right.
That helps me hold the instrument up. And then let's see what else. What are these? Oh yes, you guys all have 4 ears, right?
No.
No? Okay. Well, maybe you only have 2 ears. But our 4 ears, or our pegs, are connected to 4 strings. You guys have got strings, don't you? Silly students. Of course you have strings. They're your vocal cords. They're what make you able to speak and sing. Let's see if we can play. Put your hand right here on the side of your Adam's apple and just press lightly, and let's sing a note. Now, raise your hand if you could feel your vocal cords vibrate. Oh, you guys are great. Oh, those are your strings. So now we have 2 different ways to make our strings vibrate. The first is we can pluck the string. We can pluck it like this. Like you might pluck a guitar string. That is called pizzicato. That's a funny Italian word. Pizzicato. Do you think you guys can say pizzicato? You guys are awesome. All right. Then the other way we make our instruments vibrate is we use our bows. And when we do that, because we can just go back and forth, it's almost like we never have to take a breath. Pizzicato is good for short notes, right? So this bow, basically what it is a springy piece of wood, and attached to it is horsehair. That's right. And the horsehair is rough, like your own hair. And when we draw the hair across the string, it's a little bit like plucking the string over and over and over again. Or just like if you were to sing, ah. So now we can make our strings, our 4 strings, create lots of different notes by shortening the string length. So we push the string down to the fingerboard so that only this section is vibrating. So as it gets shorter and shorter, you'll notice the sound gets higher. So we shorten the string length with our left hand to create the pitches we want. So if we were to play a scale, watch. I put my fingers where I need to. I use 2 strings and just 1, 3, and 4, and boom, we've got a scale. Now, can you guys sing a scale?
Yeah, why don't you guys sing a scale with us? This will be
do,
our starting note.
do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. You ready? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Great job, guys.
That's pretty high. Good job.
All right. So now,
we talked about how our instruments are very different sizes, even though they're quite similar. And the smaller the instrument, usually the higher they can play. So which instrument do you think is going to play higher?
Lizzie, what do you think?
Violin.
The violin.
That's what almost everybody answers. Let's see if it's true. He only won by one note. Jeez.
So that's kind of the cool thing about the cello. It can play much lower than my instrument, but it can actually play just about as high as mine. I mean, it doesn't sound great up there, but it's possible.
But I can play on a very short string length, and that is what makes the pitch higher, is a very short string length. So
Now we want you to play a little game with us. You're going to have to make some choices. So the first choice someone can make is violin or cello.
All right, do I have a volunteer? All right, Nash, what are we thinking?
I would say violin.
All right, violin is our first
Okay,
choice.
violin. Now you can choose a long note or a short note.
Short note.
Okay, violin, short note. Do we want it to be forte or piano?
Students and Christmas. Forte.
Okay.
short.
And should it be a high note or a high note or a low note?
High note.
A high note.
Forte, short, high. Violin.
Forte,
Violin,
short, high. Okay, here we go.
Let's do that again.
I can play a bunch of them in a row.
Okay, let's do another one.
Violin or cello?
Or cello.
Calling on people say crisscross, short, Marion way. What do you think, Xander?
Cello.
Cello.
Okay.
Okay, a high note or a low note?
High note.
Yes.
Which
High.
is it?
A high note.
Okay.
Okay.
And do you want it forte or piano?
Piano.
Yes.
And should it be a long note or a short note?
Oh boy. Long.
Okay, so a long piano, high note on the cello. Listen carefully.
Sounds like a vacuum in the background.
Here, one more. Let's
Okay,
do
we'll
one
do
more.
one more. Choose either violin or cello.
Alright, so one more. Let's go with
Violin.
violin.
Okay, should it be a long note or a short note?
Over this way, Lucy. Short note.
Violin short.
Okay, short note. Do we want it to be a high note or a low note?
Oh, come on, over this way. What do you think? Low note.
Okay, so we've got a short, low note on the violin so far. So someone choose whether it's forte or piano.
Forte.
Okay, here it goes. This is the lowest note I can play on the violin. Let me play several.
I can play that too.
Good for you. Play your lowest note like that. Yeah, so you can certainly play lower. Let's play
Okay.
you some music now.
And we're gonna play with our bows. And this music is a beautiful lullaby. It's called Cradle Song. And I get to play the accompaniment part. The accompaniment is like when your teacher plays the ukulele and sings, the ukulele, she's strumming her chords, she's playing the accompaniment. It's got the rhythm, it's got the harmony, it goes along with the melody.
And the part that you sing is the melody. So in this particular piece, I've got the melody and he has the accompaniment and he wants to demonstrate for you how it sounds.
Sounds like a cradle rocking. Can you rock the cradle?
Nice.
Nice. Okay. And then Mira's got a beautiful melody.
So here is our lullaby.
Now we're going to play you a piece of music that is a lot different. Now,
One of the main ways it's different is we aren't going to use our bows the way we did in that lullaby we just played. We're going to do a lot of plucking, and remember that word is pizzicato. And at the same time, with all this pizzicato that's going to go on, we're going to do a few different effects as well that are out of the ordinary.
first of all, let's play
Yeah.
the way we work together. This isn't
Okay.
melody and an accompaniment. This is just the way we work together to create a fabric of music.
So listen to my part. It has little spaces in it.
And my part does too.
But when we put it together, it sounds like one continuous line. Which
Pretty
I think
cool.
is really neat.
And when we play soft notes, pizzicato, or piano notes, we think they sound a little like raindrops. So one of the things that I can do to make pizzicato a little different is to play a chord and strum like a guitar. But But then we also get some percussion effect, when you strike something or hit something.
So in this case, instead of using the horsehair to play on my string, I turn my bow the other way, upside down, and I hit it with the wooden part.
Wow.
Pretty cool, huh?
Different, yeah.
Now I also get to knock on the top of my cello, knocking on wood. And that is another fun percussion effect. There's one more percussion effect that I get to do, which I'm pretty sure you won't miss, but we'll tell you about it after the piece.
All right.
This is called Picky, Picky, Picky.
I'm excited.
So did you notice that really scary snapping sound?
Yeah.
So that's called a snap pizzicato. And instead of pulling the string to the side, I pull it straight up and let it snap back into the black part, the fingerboard. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
You always enjoy those.
I
when you
do.
have them. Now we're going to get back to something a little bit more traditional in terms of there's going to be clear melody and accompaniment. And remember, melody is the part that you would sing along to, and the accompaniment is the part that adds the harmony and the rhythm and all of the other stuff that make the melody sound good. And in this next piece, we are going to trade off. And I'll give you a clue. The melody will start in the cello. I happen to have some accompaniment that's pizzicato. I'll demonstrate for you.
Great. And I get to play the melody. I get to start with the melody, but then we switch. And
A couple
Mira gets to
times.
play the melody. And then we switch. And what we'd like you to do is you listen and watch really carefully. And when I've got the melody, you point to me with your right hand. Okay? And when Mira's got the melody, you switch and point to her with your left hand. Okay, so let's practice that so I can see. I've got the melody. Point to me with your right hand. All right. And then you've got the melody, or Mira's got the melody. You point to her with your left hand.
And you don't have to hold your hands up the whole time. Just when the change happens, you can indicate that you noticed. So here is a traditional Irish tune called Star of the County Down.
Job. All right. So
Great
now,
job identifying who had the melody there. I could peek a little bit out of the corner of my eye while I was playing.
So you guys,
We have time for questions.
we have lots of time
Yeah.
for questions today, and we'll also get to see you tomorrow. So if we don't answer all of your questions today, you'll have a little time tomorrow.
Woo-hoo. All right, so let's get some questions going. All right, what do you want to ask?
Oh, how long have you guys been playing those? How long have you guys been doing that?
Oh, playing their instruments?
Yeah.
How long have you been playing? Yeah.
That's a really good question. How long have we been playing our instruments and how long have we been doing this? So I started playing my violin when I was 7 years old, which is pretty young. And I'm 49 now, so I've been playing the violin for 42 years.
We don't play together. How long?
Oh.
We've been playing together since about 1993, so how many years is that?
A long time.
And
Like
you know,
27 years.
we've been married, how many years? 19 years.
19 years.
So we've at least been playing together for 19 years. In terms of Red Cedar Chamber Music, we became the directors of this nonprofit organization 5 years ago. So we've been doing this particular thing for 5 years.
Great question. Yeah.
All right, let's go, Minnie. What's your question?
When were you guys born?
Oh.
1967.
Yep.
So I've been playing my instrument. I started when I was Mira started. She was born in 1972. All right. She started playing her instrument when she was 7, and now she's 49, so she's been playing 42 years. I started playing my instrument when I was 13, and I'm 53, so I've only been playing 40 years.
So I like to say I beat him. Even though he's older than me, I've been playing my instrument longer.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. There we go. That's a good question. All right. Any music questions? Let's say music. Yeah. What's your question? Oh, she wants to know how much money these instruments cost.
Oh, the stringed instruments can be very, very expensive. And, it doesn't always have to do with the quality. Sometimes it's because they're really old, or sometimes it's because they were made by a famous maker. So some instruments that you could go to the store and get could be only a few $100s. But our instruments are worth a lot more.
I would say our instruments are worth about the amount of a car, for instance. They're quite valuable.
But that's
Yeah, these little tiny things.
Yeah. And our instruments are quite old. My instrument is actually 100 years old, and Mira's instrument is she's coming up on 300.
285 years old.
So
Whoa! 5 years old.
Italian
Isn't that
vinyl.
incredible? Wow, that is awesome. All right, let's take maybe a couple more here. Nash, what's your question?
Like when did you guys started to when did you guys get really really good at it?
Oh, when did you start to
gosh,
be?
that's a good
Yeah.
question. So I started a little later, at 13. A lot of people Mira was about your age when she started. But we both practiced, and then we both were really good by the end of high school, and we went away to college to
Yeah, so
study.
I would say it takes almost 10 years to get really, really good. But I also consider myself I'm still learning and improving in different ways. So, it's a lifelong pursuit that you can enjoy.
Yeah. Very good questions. Okay, maybe just a couple more here. All right, Kaden, what's your question? Kaden saw your cat and just wanted to know, do you want to know its name or what was it?
Oh, Frank, you saw Frank?
We have two cats. I'm not sure which cat you saw. There's a black cat named Frank.
Yes, Frankie. All right.
And
So he wants to know specifically when you got him.
Was it 4 years ago? Almost 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Good eye. I didn't even see a cat, so nice eye.
I did.
Oh, very cool. Okay, maybe just a few more and then we'll get going. All right, what's your question? Oh, she wants to know, is the violin and cello, are those a part of the music in the Mulan Disney movie?
Yeah.
Does anybody know that?
Undoubtedly,
Oh
yes.
yes, there
Oh,
are definitely
see?
violins and cellos
So-
playing in
So
that.
let me tell you about so chamber music is always a small number of instruments, but almost always in a movie score like that, there's a full symphony orchestra. So the difference between orchestra music and chamber music is that in orchestra music there's probably 10, 12 people playing the violin part and 10 cellos playing the cello part. And then there's wind instruments, the flutes and the oboes and the clarinets, and there are brass instruments, the trumpet and trombone and horns, and then there's percussion and all sorts of instruments. And so that is the way most movies are scored. Okay, listen, we got one more piece for you today, and if we didn't get to your question, we'll save it. We'll get to it tomorrow.
But
Well, time tomorrow.
it's not a question.
Okay, so our last piece is another kind of fun piece. It's got a strange name. Now, you guys all know the word gross.
Like, ew, gross.
Yeah. So this movement is titled grotesque. Now, grotesque isn't always just, slimy, gross, moldy, yucky, smelly. Grotesque actually means something that's a little strange or misshapen. And this music is a little bit like that. It's a little strange and misshapen. And one of the things, again, this is a piece that we don't really take turns playing the melody and accompaniment. We work together, okay? So we're working together to create the fabric of the music. And what I'm curious about is, what does this music make you think of? Do you visualize a picture of something? How does it make you feel? Right? So remember, it's called Grotesque, and this was written by a woman named Rebecca Clark. And we think it's a lot of fun, and we're going to finish with it today.
You've been a wonderful audience.
Thank you guys so much for your time.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
All right, let's sign up. Thank you so much. Now, hey guys, I'm over to them, and we will get to see some cool music.
All right.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to us, I guess. I'm Mira, and this is
Carrie.
And we're Red Cedar Chamber Music, and we're going to start by playing you a fun piece. It's a dance called a tarantella. Thank you very much.
All right, well, today we've got
What's question?
some really good chamber music for you. And chamber music, you remember, is music for a small number of people in a small room. Now, yesterday we got to talk about melody and accompaniment, which is one of the things that two people can do together, to play melody and accompaniment. But you know what? There's something else that's important about music, and that is no matter what ensemble we're playing with, there are basically two kinds of music. There's singing music, that is music that you would sing, that you would go home singing the melody to, right? And there's dance music, and that is music that makes you want to dance. Now, you just heard a tarantella, a dance, and we're going to tell you more about that later today.
And with singing and dancing music, even in other types of music besides chamber music or classical music, in jazz or pop music, you can see that there are different types. Some songs are singing music and some are more dancing music.
So, we're going to play for you a couple of examples of singing music. And in both of these examples, these are both Czech folk songs. A folk song is something that was sung by people, maybe a lullaby sung for hundreds of years and probably not ever written down until maybe some composer decided to arrange it. And that's what happened here. The next two things you're going to hear are Czech folk songs, and they're hundreds of years old, and they're two. One is called Sleep My Love, the first one, and it's a lullaby. And you remember the lullaby we played for you yesterday? It had, I got to play the accompaniment, and it was the cradle rocking like this. This one is a little bit like that. And my accompaniment sounds like this. I'm just gently rocking back and forth between three notes. And that's what my accompaniment is the whole time. And Mira has the beautiful melody. Now, because it's the accompaniment and I want it to be a little softer, I'm going to use this little black piece of rubber. You probably can't even see. And what the piece of rubber does is it goes on the bridge. Now, the bridge is the piece of wood here that transmits the vibrations of the string into the body of the instrument, right? So it's a little bit like the heart. And when we put the piece of rubber on the bridge, it makes it softer. Like a little bit like talking with a mask on. So you remember, without the mute, it sounded like this. And you'll hear how different it sounds, and quiet and gentler. So I've got the accompaniment.
Wait, let's ask them. Pop quiz. If he's playing the accompaniment, then what am I playing? Does anyone remember the word?
Ooh, Aiden.
Melody.
The melody.
Exactly right.
Word.
So,
Duh.
this is called Sleep My Love. Wow. Okay, now we've got another
Czech
example
folk song.
of singing music, and this time I get to play the melody.
So if he's playing the melody, then what do you think I'm playing the whole time?
All right, so here's another pop quiz question. Let's see.
I can't remember.
Let's see. Do you know?
So.
Oh, not a solo. We're getting close. Emerson? Oh, not that beat. Yeah, one more guess.
Okay, I forgot.
So they said there we've got the melody. So what was the other word? Did anybody catch the other word? Minnie? Oh, close. Not compost. And last guess. Oh, that is their instrument, the cello. You are right. Okay, I guess we forgot the other word. We have the melody, and then what is the other word?
The accompaniment.
Ah, let's say that. Accompaniment. Ah, there we go.
All right, so this song is called Flow Waters Flow, and Mira is the accompaniment, and she sounds like the burbling of water.
And once again, to make the accompaniment sound a little more special and delicate, I'm going to use a mute, which is a rubber piece to put on my bridge, and you will hear the difference in the sound when I do that.
Yeah, it's just a subtle difference, but it makes all the difference in the world. Now, I'm the voice of Old Man River. This is called Flow Waters Flow, and I'm the old man in the river with the deep voice, and here is the sparkling water. those were songs that were pretty slow.
And gentle sound.
But not all singing music is slow or gentle. Sometimes songs are more upbeat. So now, I'm going to play. The next song we're going to play you is one that's like that. It's active. The accompaniment, which is almost always in the cello, sounds like this. So basically, those are just chords, like the chords that your teacher might play on the ukulele. They're a group of notes that go together to make the melody sound better. But there's a special word that means for me to rock back and forth between the notes of that chord, and that word is an Italian word, and it is arpeggio. Can you guys say arpeggio?
Arpeggio.
Exactly. So now that's an Italian word. Remember, we learned one yesterday, which is when we pluck the string. Let's see.
I don't know if anyone remembers that word. Raise your hand. Otherwise, we'll just tell you.
Some
Okay.
of us remember. Do you want to say it? Let me see.
It was the Italian word pizzicato.
Can you guys say pizzicato?
Pizzicato.
All right, great.
So
Now-
we have another Italian word for you.
And that is the name of this song, which is canzonetta. Now, canzonetta means little song in Italian. So, now here's the trick. This is an upbeat, exciting song, and I get to play this arpeggio the whole time,
Except for just one little bit in the middle. So I'm going to have the melody almost the whole time, but there's a moment in there where we switch and I have arpeggios and I'm doing the accompaniment and the cello gets the melody. And if you notice that point, you can raise your hand for it and then put your hand down after it passes.
when we switch back, put it down, okay?
All
This is
right.
canzonetta. All right. So
So what do you say now? We've played you 3 examples of singing music. We'd like to move on to some examples of dancing music. What do you think, Carrie?
I think that's a great idea. Now, your teacher has been working with you and talking to you about skipping. And this is why. Because our next couple pieces have the skipping rhythm in them,
In it. See
right?
if I can remember.
So when you skip, it's right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, right? So, and that is actually the way the Irish jig is. That's the step of an Irish jig.
So should we all stand up and try skipping?
Oh, yeah, let's do it. The Irish G.
Now skip in place.
On our dot spot, Xander. Xander, on our dot spot. Fix it.
We'd like to do this all together if we could,
Yep.
because chamber music's about doing things together.
We're doing scissor jump.
You have to listen.
Okay, 1, 2, ready, go. Skip, 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 skip,
High five.
skip. All
Oh,
right.
yeah. We did it. All right.
All right. So go ahead and take a seat.
All right, grab some together. Kaden.
Crisscross applesauce. All right. Now we're gonna try it a different way.
Yeah, let's try it now with doing body percussion. So we're gonna try tap, clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap, like that, okay? So here we go, we're tapping on our shoulders. 1, 2, here we go. Tap, clap, 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 tap. Excellent! Can we try that maybe even faster? So here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Tap, clap, 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 tap. Good! Excellent!
All right. So now this piece is called Mistress Winter's Jump. And it's all in the skipping rhythm. Now you're going to get to hear us take turns playing the melody, but also you're going to get to hear us do some pizzicato. I get to play, well, Mira gets to play chords like this. She strums them. And when I get to play strummed chords like that, you get to hear I'm using a percussion effect to make the skipping rhythm.
And you may remember in the last piece we played for you, Carrie had this thing called arpeggios, where he rolled back and forth between the different notes in a chord. Well, now I get that chance, and my arpeggios sound like this. Let me find where they are.
So you're going to hear all of those things. This is Mistress Winter's Jump.
Didn't that make you kind of want to dance a little bit with that sound and that high rhythmic energy?
Well,
Well, we're going to return to the very first piece we played for you today. We told you it was a dance called a tarantella. And Carrie's going to tell you a little bit more about what a tarantella was and how it was sort of came about.
So first of all, this is a dance that has that same skipping rhythm, okay? But it's maybe got a little more spinning while you skip in it, which is a little bit, would make you dizzy. But there's a good reason for that. So in Italy, in about 500 years ago, there was a disease that people could catch. Sometimes they would just start dancing, and they would dance all the time. They would dance, all over the place and never stop dancing. And people thought that this disease was caused by the bite of a spider. Now, you've heard of a spider called a tarantula. So this dance is called a tarantella because of the Italian word for spider being close to both of those words. Now, so the dance of the spider is a tarantella. But the reason why it's the dance of the spider is because of this disease that people caught and they couldn't stop dancing. And so people decided that the cure would be to make them dance to this spinning music and make them dance and keep dancing and have the music keep going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And they would dance and they would sweat and all the spider poison would come out of their skin, and then they would dance and they would dance some more and they'd sweat and they'd collapse with exhaustion, and then they would be cured of their tarantism, which is what they called the disease. So that's a kind of a crazy story, but that's how the dance, the tarantella,
Became popular.
And now we don't really think it cures spider bites, but it's a really fun dance. So it's in the skipping rhythm, but one of the things that it does is it keeps getting faster and faster. So we're not going to clap the skipping rhythm, but just very lightly on your shoulder, you're going to tap the beat with me, okay? The beat sounds like this. Okay? Now, you keep doing that and you stay with my beat.
Because you'll feel it getting a little faster.
Okay?
Call him. Here we go.
Ready to tap? Here we go.
Ready, and. All right. So did you feel it get faster? Now, we're going to play this tarantella again for you. This was written by our composer friend, Michael Kimber, and he wrote it especially, just this last fall, especially for us to be able to use with our second grade friends in Marion. So, this is a tarantella, and pay attention to how it goes faster and faster.
Perhaps you had one yesterday and you didn't get to ask it? Or you thought of something new today?
They're back here. All right. Yeah.
Okay, any questions?
It can be about the music or about us or about our instruments.
You're gonna say.
And it's fine if you don't.
Oh, we've got some. Hold on. Hold on. What was it? Oh, he wants to know, where do you live? It looks a little dark outside.
Well, actually we are in our home and we live in Iowa City. So we're about, 40 miles south of you. And it's gray out, I have to admit.
And
Is it
we-
gray up there?
Yes, it is. It's definitely gray. There's a lot of clouds. Hold on. I've got a couple more. Let's see some folks that didn't get to go. I don't think I got to ask, but. You forget? Oh, when did you get each of your instruments? When? How long ago?
When did I get this instrument? So when I started playing violin when I was 7 years old, I actually had to use a smaller instrument that was fit more for my body, because obviously I've grown since then. But this particular instrument, it is a full-sized violin, and I've had it since I was 16 years old, so that would have been 33 years ago.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I've had it for 33 years. What about you, Carrie?
And I did start on the smaller instrument as well, this cello, I found it in 1996, so about 25 years ago, and I found it in San Francisco, California, and I knew that it was a terrific instrument for me.
And he named his cello.
This cello is named Lee, and I have another cello that's named Barbara, and those actually are my parents' names.
Oh, fun! That's cool to name an instrument. Okay, I'll take a couple more. I'll come back over this way. Oh, when did you both join the Red Cedar Chamber Music?
So we became directors of Red Cedar Chamber Music 5 years ago, but I started playing with them 14 years before that. So I've been playing with Red Cedar Chamber Music for almost 20 years, and Mira started just after me, so really maybe 18 years or something like that.
Whoa.
So I've been, now before Longfellow, we used to visit Emerson all the time.
Oh,
So
yes.
I've been in Francis Marion Intermediate. I've been in that classroom every year since 2006, I think. So
I wasn't alive.
we will see you
Yeah.
next year
At
at Francis Marion Intermediate, because we come see all the second graders and all the third and fourth graders every year in Marion. So we'll see you next year there.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll remember us. We'll probably ask. We'll say, do you remember us from last year?
Awesome. All right, we got maybe a few more. Emerson? Oh, why is your group named Red Cedar Chamber Music? You
Because
talked about the chamber part, but maybe the Red Cedar.
yeah, so do you know the Cedar River that runs through Cedar Rapids?
Yeah.
Right. Its original name was the Red Cedar River.
And the reason it was named that is because it was actually named after the red cedar tree. And all along the river there were red cedar trees when people first came here. And so that's why it was called the Red Cedar River.
You can see our banner, right?
Yeah, there's the river.
And there's the river coming through, and here's the red cedar tree. And there's our name.
And then, of course, chamber music is about a small group of people playing music together, one two apart.
All right, let's see here. Jess.
So you know when you guys said you guys live in Iowa City? I have my first baseball game in Iowa City.
Oh, very cool. Your first baseball game. Okay, we've got questions. Questions for the group, not statements, but a question. All right, Aiden?
Didn't you say that your violin was like almost 300 years old or something like that last time?
I did say that yesterday. It was made in Italy. Once again, everything sort of goes back to Italy. It was made in Italy in 1735. So when it's 2035, it'll be 300 years old. So right now it's 285 years old.
Imagine something lasting for 300 years.
So if it, when it does get to 300 years old, that would be like as long ago when George Washington was still alive.
Exactly.
That's a very good point. I
Yes,
appreciate that you
exactly.
understand history and that you're tying those two things together.
Yeah,
That's absolutely
That's exactly right.
That's brilliant. Wonderful. Okay, now here's the deal, friends. If there are any other questions, I will write them down and I'll make sure to take notes because I think they have some more to play.
Yep.
We do. We want to play.
Do we
I'm
have
gonna
to-
run out of time, so hold on.
Yes. We want to play you some more dance music, and I don't know if any of you have heard of a polka. That's actually a dance that I've played, and usually there's a polka band with like an accordion and a tuba. Well, we don't have that for you today, but I'm able to make a sound kind of like a bagpipe, and let me show you how. First of all, here's my melody. I'll play you my melody. But at the same time, I'm going to play this other part with that melody that sounds like this. That doesn't sound terribly interesting. It was just the same note over and over.
And I'm playing a strummed
I'd
chord.
I'd like to demonstrate what those sound
Oh,
like
yeah,
together. But when I play those two parts together. So if you've ever heard a bagpipe, it sort of creates a little bit of a sound like a bagpipe.
Yeah, and I'm helping. With that sound of a bagpipe and also some rhythm by strumming this chord.
All right, so here is a polka.
Okay, we've got one more dance for you, and this is a jazz dance. And you know, it's called swing. And this piece is called minor swing. And you know, this kind of music, jazz music, often has a beat that's a little different. So most of the time, we beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now, but this is a little bit
But let's
different.
not tell them how yet. Let's go through it till we get there.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna try something. We're gonna go ahead and do a little body percussion again, and what it's gonna be is tap, clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, and we're gonna do it along with Carrie. Now, Carrie gets to do a special thing here.
I'm going to be just playing the accompaniment with my bow for now.
Okay, here we go. Ready, go. Tap, clap, tap, clap, tap, it a little faster. So don't clap too hard because it slows you down. You want to just be able to do it at the speed we're trying to do. Count us off.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Excellent. Okay. Now, guys, what we're going to do is we're still going to think about the tap, but we're not going to do it. But we're going to do the clap. So we're going to think about the tap, clap. Think about the tap, clap. Shall we try that? Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Terrific. And what you just did is you clapped on the off beats or the back beats, which is a very jazz thing. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, instead of on the dominant beats. And that's what you will feel in this music, this swing music, which was so popular in the 1930s that people said, I love listening to this music, I want to dance to it. And then some dances like the Lindy Hop and the Charleston Swing were invented to go along with it.
And I'm going to be playing, I'm putting my bow down because I'm going to be playing all pizzicato to try and make my cello sound like that much bigger instrument, the double bass. Because that's a great jazz instrument.
Minor swing. And we look forward to seeing you next year at Marion Intermediate.
All right, we have to line on up. So